wallet behind them backing that. Okay, well, let's get it underway. Who becomes VIP if you win, Jake? Who indeed? I guess if it was just me that won, I'd probably hand it over exclusively to the richest, because that's just how I roll. All right, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let us begin. You can still join in at any time, though. Wow, the realm looks good. The realm looks so good because there was no usurping. Authority and stability are higher than normal. On top of that, the treasury is still overflowing because I run a tight ship. We haven't once even been close to fiscal dehydration because I'm just that good. Might note that the barons are the best at trade, the tide best at farming, the best of all militaries put together. Nobody seems to care about faith, and defiance is low across the board because we've had, I believe it was 15 years of tight rulership under Queen Micha. Let us do the introductions. Everyone but the barons are destitute. Well, actually, let's have a look at this. This noble list gives a better idea of the money situation. When it comes to the very top, the cream of the cream, Ninjin, Sia Arthel, Shen, Miss Mori, there's a lot of good money to be had over into patricians. Surprising money for the chieftains. In fact, it falls off a bit slower for the chieftains compared to the patricians. And then the barons, well, it's not even that top heavy and it drops off fast. And when we go down to the bottom, nobody is penniless in the patricians. Okay, there's Seaspace Echo hanging on to his last 50 kroner. And then... poor people. They have to use teletext instead of internet. They're just that poor. Anyway, these lists are going to be important for me later on. Right, now you're the queen. Your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Well, hello, Chiefs of the North. Ah, it's the Stacy. Good luck in the days ahead, your greatness. You'll need it dealing with us lot. Yeah, the Northerners are very uppity. I think we've only had one proper revolt. The patricians tried and failed miserably to revolt before. They're just that pathetic. Proto-Zamak, a pleasure, your serene highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under you. They definitely want their kingdom to prosper. Maybe build up a military while you're at it. To think they didn't even consider putting a penny towards their own military. They just let me constantly destroy their navy. Ah, bicycle bandits of the Barons of the March. Hail and well met. Let's whip this kingdom into shape. Yes, and it looks like none of them are leveraging their position over us. I assume that's because we had our own flesh and blood. Is this what your parents fought so hard for? There was a lot of fighting going on. Let's talk about the path to victory, shall we? Ah, our never-aging spy master. Your Majesty, you have some big boots to fill. With your parent out of the picture, the nobles are looking for any opportunity to replace you. Yes, so our previous monarch, they set up a spy network to keep all of the factions in check. That was the win condition that I utterly smashed because I'm so damn good. When you die, how will the kingdom remember you? Ooh, so I actually get some agency here. Military goal. Now that would be very hard to do with the barons being so mighty, unless raising everybody's military is part of that. Stability, authority, farming, trade, and faith. Military might be a risky one, but I feel like going for it. After all, if the barons wish to maintain their high military, they will simply be aiding my ascension. And if the patricians ever want to amount to anything as a threat, they will be aiding my position. I love all these aids. All right, over the next few years, improve the kingdom's overall military as much as possible. It would be my pleasure. However, that will not be of any relevance until I secure some offspring, so I'll need to work on that. Let's enjoy the coronation, shall we? Yes, Jake, be the saint. It went so well last time. That was such a fixed bet. It was an honor to serve your parent, but now it is time to wear the crown. Yes, Chancellor, as is tradition, the council will decide what happens at the coronation, but it's my coronation. It's not an absolute monarchy. Ah, yes. Well. Seems we get the vanilla 2 laws available here. The Treasury can absolutely handle lavish parades, so I'm not afraid of that. Faith across the board, it has certainly been lacking, so that's no big deal. Queen into the river, we can afford authority and stability, no problem, because in order to revolt, I believe you have to have more defiance than the highest of these two. So one going even higher is actually even better for me. So all troops shall bear the queen through streets atop a shield. I like the sound of that. Well, council, there's going to be a lot of this, so better get your voting arm broken in. Make your choices. Yes, knowing that you've got a light-hearted queen that isn't going to bring the spy network crashing down on you is probably good for overall realm stability, but less so for my authority. Getting a little bit of a taste of what our factions are in for. Seems that the chiefs largely want to humiliate me. This will be remembered. And naturally, the barons want to lean into their strength of bringing through the troops, eh? Maybe I should have blocked out the queen into the river, because of course raising military is part of what I want. But I have to actually this time be very careful of defiance, because rebellion has a certain way with shaking up the regime. If only the patricians had learnt that last time. Right, the waterproof robes shall be mine. Into the river I go. And so it begins. The nobles pick you up, they carry you to the treadwater, they hurl us into the shallow stream, and they cheer. We're soaking wet, we get the crown upon our head, and the nobles are giggling awa. Well, drink it in. This will be the last we ever see of our kingdom looking like this setup, because next time we'll have new factions. End the season, successful coronation, but now the schemes begin. Starting with the barons, Lennox. Sinister Marcher Hunter stands before a blazing hearth, shouting and swearing. When have the barons of the march backed down from a fight? Never. I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful monarch, on the throne. So, barons only will decide how they go about working on their scheme. They'll have to either lower my stability, lower my authority, or keep their own defiance low. Are they wanting to throw in a pretender? Will they want to raise the propaganda, or do it through fire and steel? Seems they've noticed that their own defiance is already quite low, so they have a bit of an advantage leaning into that. What faction is the queen? I am my faction. Lower own defiance. Well, give it a go. They plan to swap the real queen for a perfect doppelganger. They need to trust to the spy master by keeping their defiance 4 or lower in 4 seasons. That gives me, and any other faction, quite a lot of time to deal with that. Raising defiance can be risky, but as long as it's lower than authority stability, it's manageable. But if it's too close, there could be something out with my reach that boosts it. And what about the Dirty Chiefs? What are they up to? The Coyote 4 clan. They're screaming like a fallen god. We all know I should be on the throne, not the imposter Queen Mika II. How do we make that happen? Well, chiefs and chiefs alone. Will you lower yourselves to sorcery, an uprising, or a prophecy? Ooh. How does this work? You want me to raise the treasury to enhance your own goals? That's dirty. That's troubling for me. I love keeping my treasury big and fat. I don't want to self-sacrifice over this, so it seems that a golden opportunity has been handed over to the chiefs to make me have to fight with myself. Evil. There is a great evil to be had here. They will incite a peasant uprising to overthrow the queen and then steal the throne for themselves. Raise the trade. Wait, what? What? I have double that. Something doesn't add up, game. Tax cuts for all? Not for you guys. The patricians are here. Well-used quill and a hardwood desk, does Quintus. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim is far more legitimate than that of Queen Mika. Something must be done. What will the patricians be up to? Monopole, conspiracy, or corruption? Lower authority, lower the treasure. Oh, that is even dirtier. So while the chiefs have to raise my treasury, or at least maintain it high, all the patricians have to do is lower the treasury, and it seems they have cottoned on to that. The patricians and I once worked hand in hand, so they understand well the matters of the fiscal trade. Well, this is making things extremely difficult for me. What do you ask of me? Sink us under debt, lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 3 seasons. Wow. The Chiefs, I don't know how they managed to get one that only requires 2 seasons to pass. Is it random? Is it based on what's chosen? I don't know. But I have to empty my treasury, but not entirely empty my treasury. Also note that if I lose all of my money, or all my authority, or all my stability, I instantly lose and somebody else wins. Although I don't know how it's decided who wins. I know the game has told me that, but I have forgotten. So, this all looks rather problematic for me. Other than the patricians, they all instantly fulfill their schemes, and it's just a case of having to nip them in the bud within 2 seasons, 4 seasons, and of course, don't go overboard in the spending, or else those patricians are going to advance their own ones. Tricky. Tricky, very tricky. Call for unity is something that can absolutely help me, because I will need a way to raise authority stability to ensure that defiance doesn't become too much of a problem. But I smell blood in the water here. This is going to be tricky. You don't get your free win with golden vote. I don't think that's quite so free anymore, considering that all the slates get wiped clean at the end of this. So people might not be so married to their money. Then again, right, the fishy wedding, what's going on here? The Archduke of Saul has invited you to his forthcoming wedding. Attendance, shore up relations, 2 great nations. By all that glitters, great nation! The Isle of Saul is nothing more than a nest of pirates and cutthroats, and it's not a proper marriage. The Archduke is marrying a fish. What do you have against that, Zingis? Jealousy, most likely. The groom is a Finn folk, one of the denizens of the sea. Perfectly sapient. Amphibious. The church does not agree. We mustn't legitimize this farce by allowing the queen to attend. Of course I should attend the fishy wedding. Won't attend but send regards. Condemn. Sever diplomatic ties. Raising faith, lowering defiance of the patricians, that is. Should note that all of these are quite good for me. I don't really care about faith. I don't really care about the defiance of the patricians. What are they going to do? Throw their money at me? If anything, the chance to raise stability is the best outcome for me. Of course, nobody is going to aid me with that, so I need to think about what to do here. What I will do is not at all care. Do what you think is right. There we go. If you notice downtimes of me talking like that, it's because I am muting myself to go away and blow my nose or hack and cough and wheeze. Looking pretty tied there. Voting tied at 38. Well, you know, if the nobility cannot decide, it is up to me, the sovereign master of all, to make these decisions. Surely it is for the entire nation's well-being if we simply raise the stability by me attending the wedding. See, the chiefs understand. Maybe you guys aren't that bad after all. Thank you, Parappa, for understanding. There's Clifford Jones and 50 Food Wasted. They know what's what. The wedding is scheduled next year. Inform the Archduke I'll be delighted to attend. We're sliding into madness. When it's announced that you will attend the wedding, the patricians are naturally scandalized. But the peasants, hey, they're in favor of my decision. The overly strict church, well, God, when has faith ever mattered? Don't bring up that one time that it mattered. A lot. Now, what's going on down in the march? Call for apprentices. Bad news, your majesty. A meddling wizard has set up shop in Bruseldorf. I believe it's Athmorel the Stormbringer. Wizards have managed to tame creation itself. They wield untold power. They naturally are distrusted by the church. Yeah, what isn't in our realm? Even the High Inquisitor wouldn't dare move against them. They're a wizard in both the sky and the storm. There's a call for new apprentices. That's rare. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many droves of unwashed, glory-seeking common folk. Hang on, I think we have a few of those down in the march already. Not just peasants, I, Deadtail II, have also decided to apply. The competition will be fierce. The citizens are no match. I'll be the most powerful noble this council has ever seen. Deadtail. Deadtail, you are positively strapped for cash, and yet you call yourself a patrician. If you don't have power of the purse, you have no power at all inside your own faction. You couldn't put your clothes on if it weren't for your servant's help. Can't let this go ahead. To have a potential wizard on the council would present a clear and dangerous conflict of interests. How is that so? Wizards answer only to themselves. Their power is unmatched. Entire kingdoms cannot stand against them. You could use magic to interfere with votes. Or me. Oh, no, Deadtail. You can't be doing that. Patricians acting uppity so quickly. Oh, well, now, there's one thing I would instantly do without hesitation here. But you know full well that I cannot inflate my treasury yet further. Forfeit the noble title to become an apprentice. We drain all of his money, but fatten up the treasury. That's pretty bad. I'm not very worried about the patricians acting up. So I'm more than happy to allow the Baron's idea here, forbidding them from traveling. But that will lower Baron's defiance, which I need to raise desperately. Ooh, well, I am in for a tough one here. It's actually all bad other than allowing them, but that could cause problems down the line. Truth be told, this is kind of the safer choice. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to lower my own treasury. The problem is, the chiefs have... They can very, very quickly get this one done. I would have to drain the coffers massively in no time. This is really difficult. What in the world do I do here? The Baron's goal is 4 seasons long. There's plenty of time. That is true. There are plenty of ways to make the Barons angrier. God, that is tough. I think the best thing to do is to make sure that we don't inflate the treasury yet further. Because that is the most immediate threat to me right now, are the chiefs of the north doing their uprising. But Jesus, even if I block that, there's no guarantee that I'll be able to lower the treasury fast enough. And another way to look at it might be just fatten up the treasury, let the chiefs get that one through, but then absolutely don't let them get anything else through, because that can keep the patricians hard locked out. Okay, that might be the best idea. Just let the chiefs have their way here. Yes, I shouldn't be openly discussing my plans here because you can work on it. If I were to assume that that's the way forward, which of these is the least painful? Forbidding you will lower the defiance of the barons, and that is unacceptable. So I'm going to veto that. Yes, that actually works quite well. Go for it then. I was actually rather damned because there was no way that the chiefs were not going to vote for B. I mean, I don't know what these chiefs are thinking, but fattening up my own treasury and leaning into the chief's ambition, I think, is the only way I keep my head in all of this. Tricky. The game is giving me some very, very difficult decisions earlier on. Making someone poor, yeah, that also makes things feel good. Note only one patrician backed that, the hentai dad. I suppose that's an acceptable compromise. Deadtail begins his journey immediately and pays unto us. His successor inherits the position of the council. The treasury confiscates a vast majority of his wealth as payment. You somehow died. Alright, there we go. Ooh, oh, wait, what? Now, this we didn't agree to. The Marches lost a bit of their farming, but gained even more trade. I think that's a very happy compromise for them. Ooh, latent magic will wilt the crops. Okay, that was more than a little dangerous for me. What do we do with the situation now? Ah, Ninjin! As the wealthiest, shall we perhaps double check that? As the wealthiest noble in the land, of course, has the wealthiest ideas. A brilliant idea. A battle royale for the honor guard. If you let us host it at the coast, I'll even... Ninjin is willing to finally part with his money. He'll pay for it. Not only that, he's thinking about the well-being of his fellow patricians, boosting their economy massively, and the coastal gladiators will of course win. This is pointless. Why don't you just choose your honor guard and have it done with? No, I think that Ninjin is quite right. The Battle Royale sounds like a magnificent idea, and, well, he'll still be the richest around. For now. Marvelous. I'll begin the organization at once. It's due to be held, of course, in the coastal arena. We travel down. The coast is becoming a bit wealthier now. Jings has wealth across the board. It's going to be a real problem for me if any of the factions have raised trade as one of their scheming ambitions. Today's competitors are Northern Warrior Heroes, Champion Gladiators, and the Baron's battle-hardened veterans. Who will you support? Must I? I'm not sure if military plays into this at all. But I really shouldn't back the barons. I can't have them keep their defiance low. You know what, Ninjin? This was your idea, so surely you're in it to win it. Let's watch a little blood get spilled, shall we? Marcher, soldier, charges like a bull. Sword swinging, knocked back. Northern warrior scarcely has time. Three fighters dart almost too fast, but then... the Northern Warrior. Ooh. Jings Malings. What does that mean for me? Depths below. They must have cheated. Or we just got unlucky. Regardless, you have your new honor guard, your esteemed highness, but not the one you wanted. Everyone agrees it was a fine day out for those that survived, and the coastal army attracts a new wave of recruits. Congratulations, patricians. Your military is now pathetic. Now I know why they call you Pa. 'Cause you're pathetic. Right. All in all, an acceptable season. However, these are troublesome, aren't they? I have not been able to raise the defiance of the barons, nor get my treasury into a suitable place Actually, that positions the chiefs into an excellent position. They now control my honor guard and have a free pass to advance their scheme, also to advance it very quickly. However, people have the opportunity to swing things by investing their hard-earned money. Faith up or authority up by investments in the barons area. Military up for the chiefs if they want to start playing a more aggressive game. Trade up if they want to play a more fiscally viable game. And for the patricians, they could lower their own military. You know, they just built it up finally. Begin the auction. Remember, this money will not be accompanying you once this finale is finished. Invest wisely or invest not at all. Gotta keep the patties down, says Lizard. Is that where the 300 for their new stadium comes in? Sorry, 3,000. Well, the real money is going into the military boosting of the chiefs. I wonder who's paying for that. Well, I don't need to wonder about who's not paying for that. But notably, the top two get through. And second place is currently the boosting yet further of the chiefs. Man, they are being aggressive. Go figure that others do not want to part with their hard-earned dosh. Is the finale just for this round, the Queen story, or the end? It's the end of this set of factions. So when we finish with this, we will do another run, but there'll be new factions, and you will have new allegiances, and your coffers will be wiped clean. So, I do like that one. Hentai Dad is playing an interesting game here by ensuring that they just don't have military might. Now, sure, it's my ambition to raise military, but the patricians are cutting off the nose to spite the face here. For if you have no military, what exactly do you have? This is brilliant. I don't have to worry about the patricians at all. They are never clearing this scheme. And they've just decided to sink their own military so they will never successfully rise up against me. It's delicious. So with one down, I have only two to worry about. Barons and chiefs. Let the games commence. Perhaps a little concerning that the chiefs raise their military. So I actually have to tread carefully with them. That's going to be a problem. Oh well, what we have to do now is carry on. Your Majesty, it's important that you find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference, men? Women? Do you not mind? I'm really not interested in love. Are you sure the nobles will be most upset? Upset nobles, you say? Yes, the nobles are going to have to suck a collective lemon. We shall speak no more of marriage, but may I ask why you just said you will speak no more of it? And the next thing out of your mouth is, why do you refuse to marry? My heart already belongs to another, a low-born commoner. Raising defiance, you say? I want to live a life of chastity. Raising defiance, you say? Marriage would weigh me down. I want to party. Raises defiance, you say? I think the time has come to partake of this new lifestyle. Far be it for me to question my queen. What's the matter, barons? A little upset that you weren't invited to my party? Easy money. Alright, what is going on with a paper full of news? Look at this, Your Majesty. The Chancellor holds up a wad of paper, the Daily Squawk. They're calling it paper of news. That's what's written in it. It's new. It's like a little town crier made of parchment. Intriguing. Little picture stories. How droll. Paper of news is taking the kingdom by storm. Everybody's reading it. Competitor papers. Interviews. Don't do it, your majesty. Go figure, a caveman would be stuck in the past. Mass media is the way forward, Patrician Kevin. Beneath the dignity of your office, that is for me to decide. Also, you're not invited to my parties anymore. Right, this newspaper business is just silly. Raises defiance, you say? Authority coming crumbling down might seem a little intimidating, but we have authority to spare and stability is still good. They can only print nice things. They can print whatever they like about the Queen. Defiance is important to me, but here is the kicker. Let's see if we can win this one with a good argument. The barons do not want me to raise defiance because it hurts them. But, my chiefs and patrician friends, defiance aids both of you. It slows down the barons, and it gives you the opportunity to revolt if you need to, and there's no need for you to do so. I need to add that little part. So surely I can trust my nobility, trust for them to make the logical conclusion here. Surely that is what we're looking for. We got you, buddy, says Dark Young. Yes, I should have known. Hang on, folks. This is not at all what we just all agreed to. There's something wrong with these chiefs and these patricians. They seem to want to shoot themselves in the foot, whilst also aiding the barons. Thought we had a good agreement going on there. Most disturbing. A slight majority of the chiefs and a slight minority of the patricians seem to have understood. But who is defying me? Seaspace? Con? Krebzig? Rohal? Parappa? The scum. Who actually understood? Chumro understood. See? Trust gets it. Propaganda will not work on us nobles, says Sam. Clearly. You've never had a conversation quite like this with a commoner. This journalist keeps asking difficult questions to your face. Does raise stability. How do you respond? I am not a crook. How could the Queen be a criminal if the Queen says she's not a criminal? Definitely going to crush my own authority if I answer in detail. But I shall. You talk at lengths about your justifications of actions. A journalist makes copious notes. All you can do is wait for the article to come out. To your relief, it's good, and my authority is commanding and my stability peaceful. Why, thank you, my nobles, who couldn't have this glorious outcome were it not for your divine wisdom. Good to know I've got such loyal retainers. This is a little less good, though. Even the nobles take the article at face value. The newspaper goes on to be the fastest-selling newspaper in history. Well, the North and the Coast truly decimated themselves with that decision, which you'd think would make me happy, but I'm a little unhappy at the March, advancing their plot comfortably. Oh well. From this point on, you'll be worried about journalists covering your every move, but at least you've started out on the right foot. We're so done, patrician bros. Oh, they might have the money, but they were never the smartest cookies in the jar, were they? Is there something else going on here? I still have an event somewhere, right? Ah, here we go. Island rises. Is this that fishy marriage? Your Serene Highness, something most strange has occurred in the Ghost Sea. The new island has risen, halfway between our shores and the Isle of Sal, the Finn folk, using their weird ocean magic. The Finn folk raised the island to celebrate the marriage. they'll gift it to him. Whoa. Terrible news. That island is of immense strategic importance. We cannot let it fall into the Salish hands. What can be done about the new island? Send the Queen to conduct secret negotiations with the Finn folk. The Queen shall just attend the wedding as planned. Pay a wizard to sink the island into the sea. Interesting. We've been given a bit of an opportunity to crush the treasury, and with a follow-up to it, particularly if I follow up with generous bribes, I might be able to land in the sweet spot that keeps the chiefs out of my hair. Not only that, the stability will go so high that I won't have to worry about defiance at all. Should I seduce the Finn folk prince and sabotage the wedding? Oh, the patricians would hate that. Okay, nobility. Bear with me here. Unlimited sushi. Unlimited sushi. What can I say, Ninjin? I have a way with words. I'm actually okay with that. Oh. Attending weddings as planned, secret negotiations, no, 'tis folly. Alright, this way there's going to be 2 dead fish in that bed. Onwards! Capital idea! I have always found them appealing. A silence falls over the council. The nobles glance at each other. Well, you're unattached, and you'd make a far better match for the Finnfolk prince than the Archduke of some rainy little island. What's the harm? I shall seduce the sexy fish man. We all admire your sacrifice. Preparations begin. Your chancellor gets magic reeds that allow me to breathe underwater. That gives you time to prepare for your underwater visit and some waterproof roses. Why do I have to present the roses? I suppose I'm doing the seducing here. Onwards and upwards. Well, there was just no escaping this. I suppose if I hadn't taken the extra money and I'd paid that 2,100, let me think, I'd be 3,100 down. That still wouldn't be enough. The chiefs actually just got that one for free. Damn. Okay, well, across the kingdom, discontent with the queen is rising. Everyone knows she has it better off. But now, people see just how much better off. The peasants are asking all sorts of troublesome questions. Smoky northern clan hall buried in snow. Chief Krebsig laughs and dances on the table. The villagers are getting rowdy, and it's all thanks to... You didn't do anything! How can this be? I was even able to get away with levying a little extra tax this year. Even I blamed it on the queen. It's lovely having a scapegoat. Oh, the chiefs are getting a bit of extra money. What's with this 5-figured sum, Dark Young? You and Green Giant, you're just as guilty as I. Now's the time to incite some real chaos. Show them that Queen Mika II is not only greedy, she's utterly incompetent too. You must lower stability to 4 or less in 4 seasons. I rather think my unwashed, tartan-clad friends that is never going to happen as long as I live. And I have it all to thank you for. For you ensured that there was circulation of news, ensuring massive stability in my name. Thank you, my friends. And what better way to thank the chiefs than by ensuring that everybody knows they're completely correct? Yes, I do like opulent wealth. Every penny I can get my hands on, as it happens. Good on you. You were always correct. As for those barons, if they insist on wanting to revolt against me, I'll give them every opportunity to do so. As for the patricians, well, they're not really a threat to me, are they? There's no reason to play hard buggers with them. I think they should be enjoying another round of extra cruel taxes. Glorious. And again, about the dividends here, look at that, the patricians actually made extra wealth selling penny stocks to gullible peasants. This is fair at least. We're friends, Jake, don't be cruel. You do know you aren't playing Stronghold, right? Ah, but you see, the chiefs have just let my handcuffs off. They had all the cards in their hand, they had me pinned on the treasury matter. But now that they have shifted their sights, I'm free to be as rich as I want to be. And the funny thing is, the nobles understand the desire to be as... Oh, sorry. Once upon a time, there were 5 figures here, young. But like the 4-fingered man, you don't get that many digits. Well now, occupational hazards down in the marches. We received message from the wizard Athmorel. There was a storm localized entirely within my chamber. Her new apprentice has died. It's quite normal. The survival rate of wizards is less than 1 in 10. Regardless, we've been sent compensation. Ooh, where's my money? What of the damage is already wrought in Brusseldorf? Did we receive any compensation for that? Alas, no. Only 150 gold. Perhaps the council will have any idea to... What do I care for that little sum of money? Right. Should Lord Deadtail II receive this money? That doesn't sound right. Should we pay the barons? That seems even less right. Build a statue celebrating his bravery. Oh, that's good. Yes, that's very good. Keep it for the treasury. I don't think the barons would like that. But I also think I don't care what the barons like. The one thing we will not do is pay the barons. Everything else is up to you, my most esteemed noble council. Except for the Pats, but the Pats are lost anyway. Oh man, it warms my cockles knowing that the sheer greed of the patricians ensures they get what they deserve. So interestingly, the barons are pretty much my only threat, at least currently. The winds of change can certainly blow. Also, speaking of blowing, looks like we will all be remembering the bravery of our dearly deceased. Patricians. I would have thought they'd be cannibalizing their own there. Work starts immediately. Little disgruntled he didn't get the compensation. Ooh, that's not the defiance I was expecting. I thought the barons wouldn't like that. Small problem, the money wasn't nearly enough. All we've got is a pair of very heroic-looking feet. I want more money. It's not long before we receive a reply. Wrote a message in the clouds calling you all sorts of horrible things. I think we can ensure that it's no. Well, authority is not a big problem. Months pass, everyone forgets about ill-fated venture. The embarrassment, very memorable. Yes, your heroic feat shall always be there and remembered. Did not raise the defiance, though. I was hoping for that. I did not expect it to make the patricians less happy. But as we've covered many times before, we don't particularly care about what they think. Your Serene Highness, the situation of the coast is dire. When is it not, Arthur? The patricians, and I mean the Queen's navy, is in tatters. I feel like we get this every single time because they just are incapable of maintaining a military. However, for once, it is slightly in my interests to raise the military might of the patricians. It is, after all, my ambition. I got rid of my veto here. The treasury can easily absorb any of these costs. However, look at this, 100%, 90%, or guaranteed military up. It's all good. Well, actually, on the 10% chance this fails, it's slightly bad, but yeah, it's all good. Notably, the patricians are very quick to want to lower the treasury. It is the only way that they can advance their own schemes. Unless, of course, they handle their defiance a little better. They have a long way to go, but if they raise their defiance tremendously high, then they will... What will they be able to do? March their no military at me? Well, it's an option, I guess. Okay, yes, it costs me money, and no, I'm not concerned. I have a lot of money. Not usually one to trust them, but don't you guys use mercenaries? Like, exclusively? Oh well, there we go. Here's a big old sack of money, and now you've got a not even pathetic, it's a weak military. If you and the chiefs went hand in hand, you'd actually be able to take the barons, which might be useful in times of revolt, because if the barons win, you all lose. Then again, there could be kingmakers. Kingmakers are absolute scum, by the way. No one likes kingmakers in a competitive game. The Finn folk send a stagecoach made of a giant clam pulled by seahorses. You equip your magic breathing reed and hop inside. I better not lose that thing. I'm not here to die. The clam carriage plunges beneath. We're whisked away. The prince meets you at a grand table. Tiny Finn folk spawnlings are around us. Greetings, your majesty. We're honored to have such a prestigious visitor. Oh my. Whew. The clams are getting wet, my friend. This place is amazing. You're here to discuss my betrothal and a dowry. Whoops, I just dropped a big bag of pearls. Could you pick them up for me? A very big bag of pearls. This clumsy attempt at bribery is beneath both of us. I'll pretend it never happened. First of all, congratulations. I believe Finn folk and surface folk must get along. The wedding is the first step in that process. More like fine folk. Oh, what? How did it go, your majesty? Did you successfully seduce the fish man? Never really came up. Most unfortunate, the wedding will go ahead, but at least you tried. Oh, jeez. Story of my life right there. Oh well, what's a man to do? Dingy seaside tavern, two patricians meet. Terrible news, the kingdom prospers, the treasury is practically overflowing. Yes, don't I know it? I didn't expect the new queen to be so competent. We must work harder to bankrupt us. You're gonna have to work a lot harder, my patrician friends. I am fiscally hydrated, and I've never been more stable. I do, however, only have one season to raise this by 2, so I really need to cheese off the barons. Right, iron choice, reverse voting, anonymous voting. The monarch's vote is a waste of time. I'll go for iron choice here. After all, my authority, whilst it's fine, could always be finer. Alright, better go and see how that wedding concludes. Your esteemed highness, in a few days you'll be traveling Surely there's a way we could turn this to our advantage. Forge an alliance with Saul. They have fast ships. With a new outpost, they control most of the Ghost Sea, or object to the blasphemous union of man and fish. He's not a fish, he's a fine folk. It's a matter for the council, I believe. As long as we're not putting an end to all this, it's good. Seeking an alliance might actually back my own situation rather well. If there is an uprising, surely an alliance with Saul would at the very least keep the patricians in check. The patricians, ever keen to slice off their own noses, back that school of thought. It seems really rather split between all factions here. Really rather split indeed, but at the last moment, it seems like I'm going to have to attend this like a normal human being. What a shame. An alliance could have been handy. Well, the council has spoken. Good luck, your august majesty. Funny, I get all the blame for when the council makes decisions for us. Lacking a spouse, you've chosen the chancellor as your +1. Oh, I do love weddings. At last, the new island crests the horizon. Empty little rock devoid of vegetation, no buildings. But it's packed with people, minor nobles. They cheer and they bow. Could I not interrupt this at the final moment? Does anyone here know any lawful impediment to these two people being joined in marriage? Raise defiance, lower my authority, raise the faith, lower the trade, lower my... not my money, lower the military. That seems very tumultuous, but it must be done. The wedding goers erupt in protest. You shout about the illegitimate union of man and fish. When you arrive back at the capital, the council is furious. Yes! We have stopped the March's scheme. To make matters worse, rumors swirl that you only disrupted the wedding because the Finfolk rejected your advances. This just goes to show we're a holy nation, unlike those heathens in Saul. And I saw the barons in chat egging me on to do it. They didn't want to rule. They want my magnanimous overlordship. The new island proves to be immensely beneficial for Salish trade. Well, would you look at that? The patricians once again get cut down to size. Key military outpost cut down to wow. The coast are even angrier. They seethe. You get the feeling the Archduke isn't likely to let your disruption of the weddings go unanswered. Doesn't sound like my problem just yet. Your Majesty, the printing press has ushered in an age of lively intellectual debate and revolutionary philosophy. Sounds dangerous. New thinkers, the end of the monarchy. Written an influential pamphlet about the rights of the commoner. Could it be their common sense? By the 9th, we have to do something about her. My common folk have started asking me to pay for their medicine. Ooh, okay, I don't have good laws for this. Imprisonment, that starts really crumbling down my authority a bit too much. Expenditure. Oh, but you know what my expenditure is? Everybody else's lack of dosh. God, I wish I could guide this better, but I have nothing useful. Could have done a bit of reverse thinking there. Miss Morrigan and Dilnd, the only ones to want to go so underhanded as to do a smear campaign. But no, seems like imprisonment is what people are after. Crushing my stability and authority is actually a little dangerous. I thought I would never have a problem with the chiefs due to that stability. But it seems they're actually doing a decent job at bringing it down by egging me on into that outburst. That is another problem. The barons getting their defiance back down. God, and that really crushed my stability and authority. Right, this is turning out to be an extremely bad season for me. Extremely bad. I found an interesting tidbit. During the reign of Queen Aga, the kingdom held a huge parade. It was called Day of Kinship. Quite the party. What sort of parade? Nobles made massive floats dragged by horses, representing the pride of their regions. Made things more harmonious. Ooh, I could do with that. I never need a reason to party. Let's absolutely do it. How much money do you wish to spend on it? Why do the nobles have to come up with these ideas? I don't want to lower defiance further, especially not when I'm the one paying. I can't really afford to lower my authority any further either. I have a feeling I'm not going to be seeing that money again anytime soon, so let's just eat our humble pie today. Money is no object, only the finest parade for the crown. Should note that the chiefs are having none of this. The chiefs want it to be cheaped out upon. Go figure, they wouldn't understand the value of money if their life depended on it. Pretty tight though. 42, 44, 16. Couldn't have a few more people deciding that the top option is the best option at the final hour, could we? I mean, surely what's best for all is truly best. What was that cheeky vote going in on the respectable one? Come on, just one little vote for A. The Treasury can handle it. Two little votes for A. You need the exclamation point at the start, you know, to make that vote happen. You can't just type vote. Ooh, sorry. Sneak it on in there. Sneak it on in. Really can't afford to lose any more authority over the realm. My authority and my stability have been utterly shattered. So surely, stop rigging, Jake. Never. The vote stops when I say it will stop. And the vote can stop. Oh my, a tie. Oh, it seems the nobles couldn't come to a decision here. It'll be up to me to break the tie. And oh god, not this again. No! Why must you do this game? Ah! This is Democracy Manifest. For enjoying a succulent, noble vote. Is there anything I can do? Like, what if I Alt-Enter and Alt... No, it's just not there. Game's just having a meltdown. I think it must have changed on the last frame. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it didn't, then it no longer has a tie to handle here. Okay, that is unfortunate. It means I need to come out of the game and relaunch it. Fortunately, the game does probably remember everything we've just done. You need to join in and join in fast, but you can do so at any point. Alright, there we go. So this new festival that we're having... much more harmonious across the kingdom. You know what? I don't think we need to bother with this. Seems like a bad idea. What about a small party in the royal palace? You know what I could do with a bit of authority? Get the hell back to work. Oh, come on, Jake Sizingus. Could I truly trust all of you to vote the same way again? Truly? I rather think I could not. Deep in the forest of the march. Nah, this is the problem here. We weren't able to raise that defiance. So now everybody but the patricians get to march on their conspiracy. It wasn't save scumming. It's just regular scum, Resty. Here it is. Behold, your highness, what are you doing at such an hour? I'm sorry. I hope you didn't overhear any... Ah, quit babbling. It's not the queen. It's a peasant. Spymaster trusts us. We can move on to the next phase. Kidnapping? Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. We need the kingdom in utter chaos. Oh, buggery. We've just had quite a lot of chaotic happenings, thanks to, I suppose, me. Stability. Oh, God. Well, that is extremely troublesome. Both the chiefs and the barons want to lower my stability, which was at 9, and it has already come tumbling down. Meanwhile, the pathetic patricians are still trying to lower my lofty coffers. Good luck. Notably, though, the patricians could rebel. The very funny thing about them doing that, in addition to having a pathetic army, is that it would actually pause schemes. All schemes. I think it's all schemes. I hope it's all schemes. But it does mean that when they fail, and they will fail, we'll be able to put an end to them for good. Is the game doing it? Yeah, it's doing that weird thing again where there's a box on the outside here. But I think there's a way to close it. Well, I thought there was a way to close it. This game does like to break apart in some weird ways, but now I can't interact with it. Well, God knows what's going on. Point is, they're still marching for a republic? Yeah, I tried to click the box, it didn't close diddly. Wait, what? This is not allowed. And they don't need very long to lower this stability. Your Majesty, the people are demanding a republic. Thousands are marching through the capital, waving banners and signs. It's peaceful for now, but they're fed up with the very concept of the monarchy. Perhaps we could throw them a bone, write a few amendments, consultate power. Oh boy. Rewrite the constitution and give more power to the nobles? I don't like any of this. Boy, I don't like any of what I'm offered here. My authority can't really afford to go much lower, although stability rising would be nice. Lack of authority makes me addressing them very bad. I think I have to veto B and hope for the best. Because things are looking bad for the Queen. In just one season, everything changed. Interesting thing about forcibly suppressing the peasants. It's weird that it's only 50%. We have damn good military. Maybe the patrician average is crushing it. And the patrician's not keen on military engagement, it seems. Alright, flip that coin. We might end up being a republic before I know it. I bet the barons are going to withhold their real military might for this. Oh God, no. It's a massacre. I am blamed for it. They call us the monstrous, and now I don't want them to have that defiance. I asked you to throw them a bone, not riddle them with arrows. On the bright side, everyone's much too scared of you to talk any more about a republic. Goody good. Oh man. Well, how about that? How do we get rid of these? Okay, there we go. Got rid of that box out there. Your Serene Highness, it's terrible. Pirates have been going after all of our merchant vessels. I'm nearly bankrupt. Oh, it's great to see people get what they deserve. Typical Salish tactics. They were infuriated by a response to his wedding, and now he's getting revenge the only way he knows how. Piracy. It's only speculation, though. Well, what to do here? Threaten war? Spend my hard-earned money and the patricians' hard-earned trade? Or apologize? I don't like the sound of any of these, but it's up to our nobles to make a decision. Surely the patrician navy can handle this threat. Oh boy. The patricians rallying behind spending the royal treasury. It's the only thing they know how to do. Threaten war against the sun. Oh no, look at those barons. They want the war. The chiefs are too split, though. Splitting slightly towards hiring privateers. I'm sure they'll contribute nicely towards the treasury to make that happen, though. At great expense, you hire a fleet of cutthroats. They harass them with admirable ferocity. This tit-for-tat is, the Republic of Kurth is very happy with the situation, leading the trade routes, and Sal devastated. Can we make peace? I don't care, as long as you burn for it. As long as I can raise... Oh, damn, that's not stability, that's authority. Can we make peace with Sal before I'm begging in the streets? Absolutely not. Back and forth continues. Defiance cannot go any higher. Good. Alright, I'll admit things aren't going very well for me, but sometimes you just have to Hail Mary. And look at those patricians, they couldn't organize filling up a bath. Your greatness, this is an outrage. Baron Salty Rice Boy is trying to steal my bear. What do you have to say, Salty? It's not his bear. I was about to buy his beast from an adventurer. He was ranting and raving. What's going on here? A magnificent specimen, a great addition to your menagerie. The northern goddess of medicine and knowledge. The bear wears her mark upon her brow. Seems like the council has to make a decision. If it's sacred, perhaps you should have the bear. Truly, it is up to you. Do I have to make you lose your money? Or not? Encourage a bidding war between the nobles. Funny, why do the people with all the money insist that we should have a bidding war? Rather strange, don't you think? Go on, get a few more on sea. Why do you have to be like this? I needed that stability, and you know it. In a furious back and forth, the nobles battle it out for ownership of the bear. The North are actually less defiant now, and look at that. Pie is utterly crushed in terms of wealth. The barons are not happy. Are they ever? Jinx, I had defiance under lock and key. What the hell happened? Oh, okay, well, they're heathenists now as well. Well, times are tricky. Times are very tricky. At least we have the opportunity for things to go better, right? The barons could solidify their military to be unmatched. They could also lower stability, but who would want to do that? A deer park to crush their own farming for the chiefs? Crush their own trade with a thieves' guild? Raise their own farming for the patricians? Or lowering my authority? Troubling times here. It seems like most of the investment, if not all of the investment, is going into the barons. There was a sudden attempt in the patrician zone to lower my authority, and it's an attempt that's continuing on. Fascinating. Remember, you can't keep that money. This is your final opportunity this stream to be spending your dough. Also worth noting that everybody got kicked out, but it looks like pretty much everybody rejoined, right? 135 nobles? Don't know where we were at before. But no, Ninja refuses to spend a penny. He does not want to be anything but the richest noble around. In the meantime, my stability is disastrously low. If it drops a little bit lower, I just lose, and that is bad. However, would you look at that? The kingdom is in rebellion. The first side to earn 5 victory points will win. Victory points are earned through events. Ugh. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Do you smell that, my friend? Sorry, I think I stepped in some. It's freedom! Freedom from the mad tyrant. We've risen up against her oppression, but if we want to keep our freedom, we must fight for it. Launch a preemptive strike against the chiefs to... Oh, wow! If we suspect the barons may join our cause, we can tell them to war, or call them to war. Also call upon the church to condemn the queen, or you could send off an assassin to nip this in the bud. This is for the patricians to decide. Should they launch that preemptive strike on the chiefs? Call on the barons. Well, I'm very glad now that my honor guard is not the patricians' hired mercenaries, but instead the chiefs. I might actually have to rely on the chiefs to not die right now, which is a terrifying prospect. Truly terrifying. Alright, what are they up to then? Petition the support of the church. They do have the strongest faith in the realm. Get what you freaking deserve, you traitorous rats. Let's cut to the chase. Before you launch into your little speech, do you think the church has lasted 1,000 years by changing allegiances along with the weekly hymns? No! We're careful about who we support, and you're nothing but a thorn in my side. I wouldn't pee on you if you were burning at the stake. Get the hell out of my sight. Yeah, smoke on that one, Bruno. The church refuses to lend their official support to the rebels. In fact, they order a mass excommunication. Go directly to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. Oh, it's good to be the best. Well now, patricians, what will it be now? You have no army. At long last, the patricians have reached their boiling point. You're confronted in your throne room by the noble patrician Grey Void. Patricians of the coast will bring you down. Oh my god, what? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Interestingly enough, the barons and the chiefs are now incentivized to raise my stability, for if it falls, the patricians are actually going to win. Well, I literally can't afford to lower my stability yet further, so I will see your head on that spike. Whew. Didn't expect to move them so boldly. Oh dear. What are our chances here? They don't really have an army. We'll be fine. Is it too late to apologize? It is. Now's the time for swords, not words. Okay, well, very good. Go and get the tree buckets. This is the 5th peasant I've had to what? Just like all the others, trying to steal the gold and give it to the poor. Someone has been stirring up discontent among the peasantry, and it's the chiefs. Why would they stir up trouble? Peasant uprising is trouble, if not de-escalated quickly. So we kill a few more? Put the fear of the 9th in them. Let's get a grip on the common folk. Root out conspirators. There's fertile political climate for unrest. Okay. I must deeply encourage the barons and the chiefs to call for a stabilizing reform here. For if they do not, we're pretty boned. Well, I mean, we're all going down together. I see some chiefs are not so happy with that idea. But if you do not want to live under the high-heeled boot of a patrician, we're gonna have to work together. I don't like the C word any more than you do, but compromise is the aim of the game here. That's what I'm talking about. They're in my back pocket. Hospitals. Everybody loves hospitals. Ever since doctors stopped just waiting for people to die, instead trying to cure them, everyone's always wanted more hospitals. Everyone, that's it. Besides the nobles, who, as usual, have to pay for it. Why should we have to pay for them? They're the common folk. We're at war, damn it. Okay. Dangerous times. Somewhere in the march, there's a banquet. Gnawing on a greasy chicken leg, there are plotters happening here. The kingdom is on the brink of chaos. It's perfect. We have to strike. What do? Swoop in? Grab her in full view of the honor guard? No. We use the chaos. There are 2 options. Will the barons raise their own what? Or will they lower their own farming? Guys, I think you should lower your own farming. There's no way you could raise your defiance high enough. Oh dear. Oh dear. How did everything go so bad in one season? I had the whole kingdom on lockdown. It was that goddamn fish wedding. Oh boy. Oh boy. We need to convince the Queen that the March is on the verge of rebellion. Convince? What do you mean on the verge? That's when we strike. One queen enters a peace tent, another queen leaves. The barons must raise their defiance to 10 without starting a rebellion. Oh my. It would be terrible if they rebelled. Okay, Chief Krebsig has met with his co-conspirators once again, passing around the mead and spirits are high. We've done it again, you beautiful bastards. The villagers are in uproar. Riots are commonplace. There are no negative consequences. All it took was a civil war to kick them off. What excellent timing. Who could have known those patricians would finally come in handy for something? Only one step remains. 2 proposals. Push the common folk to turn violent. Oh my. Will you try to lower trade across the realm, or lower farming across the realm? Well, one seems significantly easier than the other, but trade is something that I am constantly crippling rather than farming, so it's all relative. Right. Oh jeez. Can practically feel the noose tightening around my neck here. Raise the aqueducts! Lower the aqueducts! That is the single most unified vote I've seen here. Incredible. Diabolical. You might even call it evil. Everyone will be better off with Estrid on the throne. There's a final push. The Queen will soon have more than one revolt on her hands. Oh God. The chiefs must lower all regions' combined farming to 11 or less. It's not that high to begin with. Okay, so maybe we all got off on the wrong foot. Clearly, the patricians are to blame. Well, the barons need to raise their defiance to freaking win. So, I guess we can just let things be amended here. As for the chiefs, chiefs can suck a lemon. Oh boy. What is this? Okay, right, well, let's go and deal with what's needed to be done. Our wondrous bear is thriving in the north, just as Skurrinon would wish. Oh, trade. Couldn't you increase the farming while you're at it? The gods are good. How about you share this with the rest of the kingdom? Maybe it is sacred knowledge. I did not agree to you lowering the farming. It is now at 12 and it needs to be 11 or fewer for them to freaking win. Having second thoughts, are you? Maybe the bear would do better in a nice cozy menagerie. Well now, I can't really afford to lose more stability, and that's what these two are doing. Can't really not boost the farming, or else the chiefs are gonna kill me. Probably going to destroy their farming further if I leave them to their own devices. It's all pretty bad. Damn, that money in the treasury is not keeping me warm on a cold night. You know, maybe I should start setting some dosh aside for my retirement, because this is grim. Grimmer than Grimsby. No, my little bear, says Pi. Yes. Well, I only hope that this succeeds and it doesn't crush their farming further. Ah, they failed, but the failure might actually be... Oh, thank God. Right, well, failed miserably for you, and your farming remains just barely good enough for me. This could be a problem. The people with all the army are now rebelling. Maybe I should get to work in the bedroom. You refuse to get married against my advice. There's one other thing you're missing. An heir. Securing an heir is impossible whilst we're at war. I'll talk to you again when the realm is at peace. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be here when the realm is at peace. The patricians have attempted to muster an army, but all they could gather were a few old men and beardless youths. There are no soldiers left in the coast. We're doomed. Yes, you are bloody doomed. Indeed, I think we might be. Winner by default. With no army to speak of, the patricians cannot march in rebellion. They mill around their camps, waiting for the queen's forces to come and smash them to pieces. Suck it. Just suck it. Might have other problems coming around, but you know, those are my problems. By a royal decree, we can tweak the laws. The golden choice. God. No, I don't think so. And it seems that, oh my god! Massive brain move! The barons just joined the rebellion as they lost! Oh my days! Come on! The patricians and the barons are united against us. A final battle is nigh to decide the fate of the kingdom. I'll send word to the chiefs that it's time to strike. Your marshal rides out with your orders, leaving you to wait anxiously for the outcome of the battle. The next few days are agony. When she finally returns, she strides into the throne room with a triumphant gleam in her eyes. Marshal, give me my report. We ambushed them in a narrow pass, rained down arrows. By the time we were done, both their armies were slaughtered. Nothing stood between us. We split the northern army in two, swept in, looted and pillaged the whole way. Our armies are now laying siege to noble patrician Bruno's fortress. That was quicker than I expected. The best kind of war is quickly and bloody. Victory! The marshal rides back to oversee the siege. A few days later, we receive word the noble patrician Bruno has fallen. The rebellion is over. My loyal chiefs of the north can enjoy some well-earned ducats for this. The common folk crowd into the palace. And to think, all the barons had to do was not rebel. It was even in their scheme. Raise defiance, do not rebel. What did they do? They saw the patricians losing and said, this is our perfect opportunity to lose with them. The biggest brain play. We're doing what was right. Someone had to put a stop to your tyranny. I will decide when my tyranny stops. And it is not now. Die! Starshon awaits you. Pull the lever. The blade falls. The head falls swiftly after. Coast and the March are defeated. The kingdom is mine again. Military can't go lower. Defiance merely grumbling. Even the north is only insolent. As you sit resplendently atop your throne, the common folk raise a mighty cheer. Long live the queen. Yes, I like the sound of that. Long live the queen. Yeah. Well now. Looks like they're back to square bloody one on raising their defiance. Square zero for the patricians. My treasury will never empty. The biggest problem to all of us, and I do say us, we must once again unite as a kingdom. Those chiefs are a hair's breadth away from securing their scheme. We must raise farming across the kingdom, even if it costs us a bit of money. Do you understand? Is such a thing possible? Okay, so about that heir of mine. Raise the aqueducts. Now the kingdom is at peace. You must seek an heir. The heir needs to be someone young, loyalty assured, a child of our own, blah, 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 blah. Chat, what will we do? I know we're not voting on this, but perhaps you could give me a bit of a way the wind blows here. Shall I fish out a bastard child, grab my younger cousin, or adopt from an orphanage? Seems that chat wants an entire shower of bastards. The church won't be happy. Well, when are they ever? Alright, what's going on down in the march? Your Highness, I've been thinking. Marcher soldiers are without peer. Our armies could always be stronger. We need better horses, but the best don't come cheap. Horses bred for war. Why? Oh, that's the thing. I do actually need better military for you. That's a lot of money for me to spend, and it would put the patricians very close to getting on with their scheme. I'd rather not give them any opportunity to do that. Breed their own... That's probably going to hurt their farming, though, right? That is unacceptable. Right, as long as we don't harm the farm, we're all good. Help the patties, chiefs! Why would you do such a thing? Ah, it's all doublethink. The chiefs are far and away the closest to victory. Far and away. They need only lower farming by 1, and they win. Which is scary. Very scary. Seems you want to hurt my coffers. Seems the patricians very much want to hurt my coffers. I wonder why. There we go. We slide over a fat sum of money. They also have to pay a fair bit, especially you. Sure enough, a legion of feisty war horses are here. Incredible beasts. They're mighty again, but they will never rise up to defy me. As should be the case. What's this about a rampage? Your Highness, eaten by a bear. Oh no. The North didn't have food to support the poor creature. The family demands justice. Send northern warriors to slay the bear. You have a decent military. Surely now, of all times, you actually want to put it to use. Trading authority for stability is good for me. Lowering my treasury only aids the patricians. Well, isn't that quite funny? I may as well point my finger towards something. The question is, what are people likely to do? Well, here's the thing. The patricians are going to be voting to spend all the money. So at least it's all unified there. The others are unlikely to unify in the way that patricians will. So it seems like, I wouldn't say free, but a beneficial transaction for me. Honor them some other way. Oh gosh, with this I could have actually done the call for stability, but hey-ho. Can't believe we won that civil war! In such a way as well? What were the barons thinking? Reminds me of an old bug in Europa Universalis, when if you join a battle, on the final day, you instantly lose the battle. Even if you bring in 100,000 reinforcements. They're already on retreat, and you retreat as well. A statue for vanquishing the bear, iron-fisted. Ooh, I don't like the sound of this. Increasing wealth for the chiefs? Okay, and a slight bit of faith for the unwashed masses up north. Okay, so, tumultuous to say the least, but an end to the season draws near. Dingy seaside tavern. The treasury is practically empty and the queen is struggling to fund her ambitions. We're perfectly placed to offer her a loan. How helpful of us. The loan agreements will be as friendly as a bear trap, loaded with hidden catches and the small print. Let me work my magic. Money troubles. We can all benefit. Why? Thank you, patricians. I knew you had my back. Easy as pie, but not enough to bankroll the queen. To advance the scheme, the patricians must have the highest... Those pops, man. Those freaking pops. It is so good to see people get what they freaking deserve. Oh, wow. Good luck, patricians. Just get the highest trade in 3 seasons. Okay, all hilarious jokes aside, there is one thing that must not be done. I think we all know what it is. So for the love of God, vote for literally anything other than that. Anything at all. It's all good. Oh boy. Oh boy. Where's the raise farming building? Oh, dearie me. This is your last chance to spend money. Couldn't help but notice that Ninja isn't doing that. 20 seconds remaining to ensure that your faction does not burn. Because it's gonna burn. Ninja, Arthur, Dark Young, Green Giant, you're sitting on enough money to swing this. Oh, but it falls on the deafest of ears. 133,000 gold. At least that trade's going up. Oh dear. The situation has become untenable, Your Majesty. A war is looming, or at least a coup. What is it? It's the peasants. They aren't merely trying to overthrow you, they're calling for destruction of the monarchy itself. They're led by a former shipbuilder, a woman named Lila. I see. Difficult situation. I would advise diplomacy. Perhaps they'd be willing to forgive transgressions if we meet and compromise. Or I take a detachment to the city watch, door to door, and start rooting out the revolutionaries. Chancellor, it is time. Spare no expense. Okay, there we go. Your advisors mill out throne room? Days pass in a blur, do they? Time drags on. It's no use. Even cold, hard gold wasn't enough. If we can't bribe our enemies, what do we do? Leave it to me, Your Majesty. If they won't listen to reason, they'll listen to sword. More days pass. Ooh, lifeless. Oh no. Your Highness, look. Ah, an army. An army of chiefs, you say? No mere riot, but an insurrection. Run for your lives! You stagger and lurch, but you're caught. I got her. Oh, the watch! They planted the palace watch. The watchman grabs us, compatriots. Oh no. Lost in her rage, doesn't notice the watch captain behind her. One swing later, head has been removed. The honor guard forms around you, protecting you as best they can. They're surrounded on all sides, but didn't you place the guards? Down with the queen, freedom or death. Let's just curl up, shall we? Oh, who's this? It's Layla. We can't kill her. She needs a trial. Ooh, I can worm my way out yet. You're hauled away. There's a trial. Who's going to act as the judge? Queen Mika II Dongle, you stand accused of tyranny, high treason, extrajudicial murder, and political corruption. 4 years, yes? Absolutely. So be it. Your sentence is death. The method of execution is the Starshon. Oh dear. Your frog marched over. The Starshon is the name of the guillotine, which was named in a much earlier round. Your head is placed upon a block. You notice something. It's Estrid on the platform. Whatever you do, don't listen to the one in blue. A noble but a true revolutionary hero. Oh, down we go. Glory to the revolution. Queen Mika's downfall became a cautionary tale for rulers everywhere. Common folk across Celeste were suddenly emboldened by a power they didn't know they had. All that remained of the Baron's attempt to usurp the crown was a prisoner, deep under the castle, clad in an iron mask, shrouded in rumor. The patricians failed to turn the kingdom's debts against it. The moment had passed. Ever practical, they set about collecting interest and hoarding wealth. Shortly after, proclaimed regent, quietly assassinated. Estrid, long-term supporter, was the obvious choice. They didn't realize the mistake until the monarchy was unexpectedly restored. Tumbling down. I didn't realize that the biggest threat are the ones I thought were on my side, the Chiefs. Maybe that's just as well. Well done, Ninjin. You might have failed in every other capacity, but you are the richest. And you look all the richer next to Resty, who has no money at all. Well, you inherit a rather poor, but otherwise well-held together kingdom. And yes, with that, the Chiefs actually come out number 1 on the trade. Farming is pretty poor across the place anyway. Their military is okay. Faith has never been a thing. Rough times. Real rough times. Okay, just realized I don't have the nobility list here, but that's okay. We can grab it right now. Promised that I would VIP each and every one of those chiefs. So all you have to do right now is hit join. If you were one of those chiefs. If you weren't, it will remember you're not, and then you get punished and mocked. Like you, Zyngus. We're not doing another round here. This is just to get the names. I will go through these names and VIP each and every one of you, at least until we have another season of this, in which we will find who our new VIPs will be. Were there really 54 of you? I feel like some people are getting in at the last minute here. Doesn't change the fact that they win, though. Whew. Look at these people hoping that they could turn around at the last minute. What an upset that one was, though. I really thought I was in it to win it there. Probably shouldn't have messed around with the fish folk. I should have just grabbed an air as soon as possible. Crushing the rebellion was amazing, but oh my days. The Chiefs getting the opportunity to lower farming and just immediately getting what they needed for that, that was rough. But they could have been prevented if everybody had actually spent their money on preventing them getting their farming down. But no, the patricians die off. They have money, but now no land, and probably no life either. Okay, so these 50-odd people, I will go through these names. Well, actually, what I can do is if I scroll like this, I'll be able to freeze it during the VOD, and one by one punch in the order to give you what you deserve. You know, a tiny little pixelated image to show off your skills at manning the throne. So well done. In this reality, it is the Chiefs who end up in charge. What does this mean? I will continue doing King of the Castle, because the game is great. There are 2 other factions that we have not yet seen, and as the victors, the Chiefs will continue on to go and duke it out with them. Will it be the Dongle dynasty? I don't know. Figure that one out later on. These will continue on the Saturdays, maybe not the next Saturday or 2 to come, largely because of the awkward time of year. But that is for me to figure out and for you to wait hand on fist for. So cheers for joining for this really enjoyable series. And until we are back with more, a cheers and cheerio. Oh, hold on. Chumro points out something very important. There's no time for cheers or cheerioing, because we have something even more important, and that is a payout. Who will win? The Barons of the March? The Chiefs of the North? Or the Patricians of the... South? I think it was meant to be Coast. Doesn't matter. Choose outcome. The Chiefs won. Absolutely. Complete the prediction. Let's get it jumped out here, and then... somewhere on my list here are the results. Are those the results? Those are not the results. How about prediction? Those look a lot like the results. So naturally, people would have voted for the faction they're in, right? Funnily enough, majority Chiefs. How could this be? Why did the Chiefs think they had any particular advantage? Maybe they just had more money to throw at the situation, but well done, Seaspace, Pandy, Detha, Narak, Trust, Runic, Blubber, Norgster, and Pwoland. Modest though your wins may be, you still won, and that's more than we could say for the Barons of the March and the Patricians of the... Why does that say South and not Coast? Bloody losers. That's okay though, the Patricians will be used to losing their money, be used to losing in general. But that is truly it for the day. So until I'm back with more, cheers and cheerio.